So today I want to do a video discussing self-publishing. In my introduction video, I had mentioned that I self-published When Danger Knocks, and I just wanted to kind of go over what I used to do this and why. Now, to start off, to have it done up as an on-demand print, which is where you self-publish your book with a company that prints it on demand as it's bought. Like if you or anybody who buys a copy through the sites that it's listed on, like Amazon, Barnes & Noble, something like that, when they order it is when that copy is done. It's hot off the presses, literally. I went with CreateSpace for my on-demand print because you don't have to pay a membership fee to do it like you do with this. There's another, I think it's called Ingram Sparks, which I do plan on doing Ingram Sparks in the future because I believe they can actually get your books out on shelves in stores. But with CreateSpace, you don't pay a membership fee or anything, and they distribute your book to a lot of different outlets like libraries, institutions, sites like Barnes & Noble. I believe it can go out to Walmart's website. I believe I found this on Books A Million. I don't remember which other ones, but they distribute out to a lot larger area than, say, Amazon's KDP Select. I think they have KDP Select for on-demand print also. Now, my ebook for this is on Amazon also. It is done through KDP. My cover, as I stated before and stuff, the picture right here with the title and the author name on it is actually the picture I did for my ebook cover. It was done on Canva, which is canva.com, canva.com. This picture in particular was free for me to make. Now, I have made an ebook cover in the past that cost like $1. There's some that you just pay for the picture itself. I've seen some on there that were like $10 maybe. It just all depends on the person who posts the picture up, if they want pay for it or if they're going to allow free use. They also have like tons of templates for doing like Pinterest, I believe, Facebook post. I don't even remember what else. They have different templates on there that you can use. The full cover I used GIMP to make. GIMP is a free program that is like Photoshop. I'd Googled to find out, how big it needed to be and stuff, and I came across a site that you could put in the size that you're using for your book, your page size, and how many pages that it's going to be, because this is a big important thing. You have to know how many pages after formatting your book that your book is going to be, so you know how thick of a spine you're going to have. Because if you get the thickness on this wrong, it's going to throw off your entire cover. So I put in the information for the size my book was going to be and the amount of pages, and it sent me to my email. It sent a template that all I had to do was save to my computer. Then I filled in the entire thing black. I made a rectangle that was completely filled in red. So I'd have the red border around my picture, and then place my picture in the center of that. I'm trying to see if I can get it to show up. My lettering, if you can see it, is it's not wanting to really focus. It's outlined in red, and so is, now my name is smaller, so it might be a little harder to see. Oh, my name's not wanting to show up, but my name is also outlined in red like that, and so is the top part. This area where the barcode goes, it stays blank because when CreateSpace prints your book, they assign you an ISBN for your book, and they put the barcode on your book, so that stays white. So I filled in that area white before I filled in the rest of it black. I mean, simple as that, really. The inside of my book, and yes, this is like a signed copy that I did. The inside of my book, I created the whole thing, including doing the Ladine Publications on there with the icon. I used Microsoft Word for editing my book. That's my copyright page. My acknowledgements page, which I'll go over all of this. My dedication page. I mean, I did all of this using Microsoft Word, I believe it was. Now, my books I work on now, because I used a free trial for this, my books I work on now, I use LibreOffice, which is a free source program. And for my ebooks, for the ebook on this one, I used the Microsoft Word, because instead of redoing the entire thing and have to reformat it again, I used the manuscript that went in for the print copy and just made the adjustments that I needed to do for the ebook copy, because on the ebook I had to make a table of contents with workable links where you could just click on it and would go to the chapter. So, I mean, it's pretty easy. And as far as my editing, I get friends and family to proofread my drafts usually before I start my major editing, and sometimes even before I start revisions, because when you let somebody else outside of yourself read your book, even if they're not professionals and stuff, they can give you really good feedback as to what they thought of it. They can tell you, well, I liked it, but this kind of threw me off, and it could be done a little differently, maybe, like that. Now, the story behind this becoming print is I wrote the story in one night. I think it took me like 2 hours to write. And it originally, by the ending, was a little over 50,000 words. This book now is like 30,000 something words. That's how much I edited it. That's how much I took and edited out of the book. So, when I originally wrote this, I was writing erotica short stories and publishing them. I published that under a separate pen name. So I was writing those and stuff because I read an article about a homeschool mom who made a lot of money doing erotica stories. And I'd read some of her books and stuff, and I was like, well, I could write that. That's easy. So I wrote a couple of short stories, and I wanted to write a novel length. So I wrote this originally to be an erotica. But as I wrote the story, it turned into suspense. So I went through and I changed a lot of the story. I revised like my entire first chapter. I reworded some stuff. I removed a lot of stuff out that to me was more erotica than romance. I mean, it still has the steamy scenes in it and stuff that, to me, it helps build the character. It helps show her innocence, but also helps show the not innocent side. So I went through and I made some changes to it and everything, and by the time I finished it, it went from like 50 something thousand to 30 something thousand. And what was meant to be my first erotica novel became my first actual novella, or whatever you want to call it, mini novel, that was printed under my name. The back of my book, it says, when danger knocks, the game changes. Elena Kelly always wished for a normal life. When she met Lucas Jackson, she thought she found it. Then the danger that lurked on the outskirts of her life returned. Her comfortable life with Lucas soon begins to spiral out of control. Now Elena must fight for her life and the lives of the people she loves. Will she finally get the answers she deserves, or will she lose everything? So the acknowledgements on my book, I'd given credit for editing to my cousin Yvonne Burchett. And my acknowledgments says, thank you to everyone who has had my back. This book has been a lot of fun for me to write, and it is a dream come true. Those who have shown me a great deal of support have been my superheroes in this process. Thank you to those who volunteered to beta read. Your opinions helped. Thank you to everyone who I bombarded with questions. You are the people I trust and think highly of your advice. Thank you to my cousin Constance. You are a true role model in the writing world. Thank you to my cousin Yvonne Burchett for being an amazing editor. Your advice helped me bring more to the story, elements I didn't even think about. Thank you to my husband and my kids. You guys are amazing and help keep me grounded. And then I did a special dedication page. First and foremost, this book is dedicated to my husband and children. It is also dedicated to everyone who has and will touch my life, from my first breath to my last. Special dedication, Jennifer Renee Barr, my best friend in childhood, who was taken from us way too soon. She was my motivation in my teen years to do my best in everything. She enjoyed writing just as much as I did. A dream we shared was to become published writers. This book is dedicated to her and her memory. But yeah, that's self-publishing in a nutshell pretty much, and how I went about doing it. If you've got questions about it and about my process and stuff, or if you would like a little more information on it, feel free to email me. I can help you the best I can, and if I can't, I can point you in a direction that can be helpful for you. Don't give up on your dreams. This book I wrote, like I said, in probably about 2 hours time one night. And then I set it back for a year or two and really didn't think about it anymore. And I kept telling everybody that I knew and stuff, I want to self-publish a book. I want to self-publish a book. I want to do my own thing and stuff. I want to be a published writer, and I wanted to do something under my name. And I really didn't like the story from how it was written, because I'm not a huge fan of erotica, so for me to decide to go ahead and do it as romance suspense was a big step for me, because I'm not really a huge fan of romance anymore either. I mean, I like it. I used to read it all the time as a teen, and I collected the books and stuff, but I like more of the suspense and stuff, because to me, romance is, I don't know, it's hard for me to really write and stuff, but I like this because it's got the sappiness to it and everything, but it's got that edge of the seat storyline of what's going to happen to her next. And the whole time I was writing it, you know, it's like, okay, I don't want it to come out being generic, and I don't want it to be extremely predictable and stuff like that. So it was words that literally just flowed for me. There's sometimes when I cannot write at all. It'll take me forever just to try and think of a paragraph. And there are some stories that just completely flow out of me. Ward C actually was another one like that. I sat down and wrote it in one night. And it's nothing as long as this. It's literally just a short story, but I was able to sit down and write it and finish it in an evening. But you know, if you enjoyed my video, make sure you hit subscribe and hit the little bell icon so you get notifications. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. As usual, I'll put the links down below in the description for that, along with the links for my book and ebook. If you enjoyed the video and would like for me to discuss the topic a little bit more in the future on self-publishing, you know, let me know. I mean, I have no problem at all discussing things and stuff. I can do reviews on the programs that I use. Also, I did not mention it and stuff. I meant to, but I did not mention it. The program I use for formatting my short stories is called Seagull. I can put a link in the description for it, and it is extremely easy to use, like unbelievably easy to use. Honestly, I just copy and paste from one to the other. Be sure to buy this if you are into romance and suspense. If you would like a signed copy and you purchase your book, I'm trying to think. I could probably get a P.O. box set up if I start getting a request for something like that, where people can just ship their books to me. Media shipping is like $2 and some change if you send just a book. So if you want a signed copy and you purchase the book, you can media ship it to me and I'll pay the cost to ship it back. Or I can sign a book plate sticker that would go inside of your book that I can just mail it to you and you can stick it in. But remember to subscribe, remember to follow me on social media, and until next time.